Hey guys, Eclipse14 here, and welcome to the end of Let's Play Final Fantasy II. My oh my, what a ride it's been. Nearly 3 months of recording time, and I'm finally at the end. Let's take a look at the final stats as I've reached this point. Furion sits at this. In case you're wondering, I went for a mostly evasive route, which worked out fine. And that's really why I have such low HP, because I've been dodging attacks left and right. And of course, the 72 evasion on Furion definitely helps. Maria has this, with 86 agility, which is fantastic. And, yeah, a lot of neat stuff. Guy sits at this, which, the 2 intelligence, it really isn't a surprise. Even though he has had quite a few potent magics, because he was using ice a lot. Well, at least for me. Leon's, well, kind of what you expect from him. I mean, it's Leon. There's only so much you can do with him. As for equipment, Furion has the Excalibur, Twisted Headband, Power Armlet, Dragon Armor, Aegis Shield, Blood Sword, and a Charm Tome that I may as well use. It's actually confusion. Maria has a Diamond Staff, Diamond Shield, Ribbon, Black Robe, Protect Ring, and a Sage's Wisdom. I'm actually going to give her a Hellfire just so she can have something in that slot. Guy has a Rune Axe, Flame Shield, Ribbon, Dragon Armor, Protect Ring, Poison Axe, and Holy Lance. And finally, Leon has an Ice Shield, Ribbon, Genji Gloves, Dragon Armor, and the Masamune. And second place, he's got the Blood Sword and Bolt Lance. Now that I think about it, I'm actually going to give the Masamune to Furion. And the reason why is he moves really quick anyway. And I'll just let Leon use Excalibur, as it's the second best weapon in the game, and he should be fine with that. Alright. So I'm in this open space here. All I have to do is walk straight forward into the Emperor. Obviously, this is a lot better looking in later versions, because right now I'm just walking through space. And there's the devil and Mateus himself. Walk forward, and uh-oh. Double Roundworm. Yeah, you can fight encounters up here, and if you're really unlucky, you could end up facing a freaking red dragon. I'm pretty sure all the encounters here are former bosses. In any case, these guys are kind of easy, so it doesn't mean much. I'll just punch away here and I'll get one final statistical boost. There it goes. Agility up, intelligence down, and power up. Huh. So, Furion's final stats actually look like that now. Okay. Speaking of Furion now. Cap Leon off for good. And use my final 3 elixirs on the 3 main characters. Maria gets 1. Guy gets 1, and finally, Furion gets 1. When you're all ready to end things, just step right forward and just meet up with the Emperor. You don't even have to press A, just press up right in front of him, and there is the trigger. And here we go. The devil and Mateus himself. So, he's got pretty much the highest stats of everybody in the game, but there are a few enemies that do overpower him in a couple spots. Notably the golems with the magic resistance being at top notch, as well as the Iron Giant really having more offensive potential than this guy does, with its 12 hits at equal and 180 power. Regardless, more HP than anybody else in the game at 10,000 HP, 180 attack power and up to 8 HP draining hits, 210 defense, much like those slimes very early on in the game, and what you have been facing up to this point as well. as well as a good chunk of evasion and magic resistance. Not as high as the golems, but still pretty nasty. He does resist all 8 elements, but absorbs the death and, more interestingly, the matter elemental, which, apart from the souls, is the only enemy that will do such a thing. In terms of its abilities, apart from the physical attacks that drain HP, which definitely hit hard, he has a special ability called Starfall 10, which is an early precursor to what would be the Meteor spell. Apart from that, he has several level 16 spells, which are Slow, Blind, Dispel, and Flare. So, you got quite a bit on your plate here. And here's what I'm going to do to start things off. I'm going to use this Masamune, as it casts Haste 11 on all allies, and I'm definitely going to need it. Maria is going to cast Berserk 6 on Leon. The reason for that is because I know Berserk will cast before he attacks, and he can use the Berserk's exploitation. Guy, there's not a whole lot he can really do here, apart from just trying to attack. I gotta wait for a Berserk on him. It's gonna be 3 turns. Leon attacks. And we get a strike first. This version of the final boss fight's really strange, and the reason why it is because it kind of works like a normal battle. You're not supposed to get a first strike or an ambush, yet you do in this version. You get 14 hits for no damage. 14 hits! Then again, it is 210 damn defense. Fucking slimed, man. But, on top of that, when you finally beat him, there's a victory sequence, and no other version in any of the games do that. It did get fixed in later releases, so it does look correct, but it doesn't really change the fact that everything just feels really weird with this final boss fight. Slow 16 does nothing, that's because everybody is resistant to all 8 elements. Thank you, Ribbons, for dropping. I got 2 from Death Riders early on in Pandemonium, and of course, the Aegis Sealed Dragon Armor combo works on Furion. So far, we're doing okay right now. I need to run 1 final Berserk 6 on Guy, and I gotta figure out what the hell to do with Maria. $14 hits for 1303. Okay, that's a little better. 12 for 1665. And there's the Meteor, which hits for 310. 242. 272. And finally, Leon's probably going to get hit for some 300 damage. 294. Yeah, it was about right. 10 hits for 525. Counters that one, though. Okay. Just keep running the attack. I'll let Maria, I guess, do Flare and see what happens here. It's not an elemental, so it's not that big a deal. But I never really had a good chance to power it up since I was using the 3 main elements and arrow. 1966. Sheesh. 665. And another meteor dropping down. $291, $271, and finally $295. 636. Wait, why would I attack here? It's not like I was gonna use attacks with Maria anyway. Yeah, just run this. 115 is actually not bad here. And that's it, this game is over. Another near 2,000 damage hit, too. Sheesh. Yeah, there's your victory sequence, which is weird. But that's how it worked. And there he goes. Again. We're in space, how are we gonna do that? Well, it actually just teleports you back to Finn Castle. all just kind of screws off. The only character apart from Leon to survive. What a fate. There they go. Leon goes. There it is. And so the era of war came to an end. In times, the long and hard days would be forgotten, but the people would always remember the children who saved the world. To the souls of the four, their friendship will never be forgotten. And in the Game Boy Advance release, as well as the PSP release, we would be able to do the Solar Rebirth thing, but I decided on the NES version mainly because I did the first one on NES as well, and that didn't have anything special, but maybe I'll do that another day. But anyway, so concludes Final Fantasy II for the NES, and the conclusion of my 12th Let's Play. Wow. This took a while. I mean, I knew I was going to be in something big. I was definitely having quite a bit of ambition, but for the game to go as long as it has is quite... wow. I definitely bit more than I could chew on this one. Even still, I managed to pull through this. I do have a soft spot for this game because how the game actually progressed through its leveling system is something that I actually thought worked out pretty nicely. It just wasn't executed really right, and even in the later releases, there's still a few things off about it. But even still, it has a little thing that just... maybe it could have worked if things just worked out a little differently. But obviously, it's a good game. It's one of those things where it's divisive mainly because of how the thing works, and of course the storyline is a little more on the basic side of things, but then again we had been diluted by the same story over and over again, and it would continue that way for years to come, and hell, in a way it's still the same way today. Even still, I do have a soft spot for the game, and I'm glad I was able to actually play through this version to combine with the first game going with the NES version, since that was, if I remember right, the first game I ever played. So, that being that and my first Let's Play, I figured it'd be a nice homage. And sure enough, I managed to pull through. Took a while, but I prevailed. As for what's coming up next, my 14th Let's Play will be up next, and it's a game I have been anticipating for a long time, as it's a very personal favorite game of mine on the PlayStation. And I have been wanting to do it for a while, and now I might finally get my chance pretty soon. And there it is. That's how it all ends. Suffice to say, I really thoroughly enjoyed this whole experience. And I hope you guys did too. With that said, so concludes Final Fantasy II for the NES, and the conclusion of my 12th Let's Play. Thanks to everyone who watched from start to finish. This took a very long time, admittedly. Oh my lord. Nearly 3 months, as you saw in the recording dates. Absolutely unreal. Easily the longest project I have completed to date, even beating out my first Let's Play, which was the first Final Fantasy in terms of time spent, and the days spent beats Super Mario RPG, which took... Sheesh. As for the thoughts on Final Fantasy III for the NES, it might not be for a while, as I do want to branch out into other things. It's something that I might not do this year, but maybe it'll come in time. Just not now. But this one's out of the picture, and I'm glad I was able to do it. Took long enough. I'm happy, and I hope you guys enjoyed this game and this series as much as I did. So, with that all said, I'm going to get myself ready for Let's Play number 14. Until then, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next game.